Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Beyond the Listing. And today we're joined by a delightful lady.
Thank
Her
you.
name is Nadine Naamani, and she is an interior decorator. And I'm very happy for you to be here with us and tell us a lot about the space. We've never had a designer interior decorator here, so lots of cool things to learn. So welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited.
Yes, that's wonderful.
So, yeah.
And just a few words about yourself, about your experience. How many years have you been in this? I'm sure it's a very kind of passionate job because not everybody becomes interior decorator. People become accountants and dentists, right? So you must love it a lot. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Honestly, I started as a human resources journalist in a bank, and then I decided to wander off the beaten path and follow my passion, which is everything related to art, decor, architecture, everything related to art. So I decided to have my own career as an interior decorator.
Beautiful.
And here where Nomad Spaces by Nadine was born.
Wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for coming. First question, creating memorable Airbnb spaces. We are a short-term rental management company, so it's going to be very Airbnb heavy, right? So how do you do that? What are the key trends right now for short-term rentals? You probably had experience with doing a few short-term rentals for sure, not just people's homes. So what do you see there? How do you make the space memorable for those guests?
When we're talking about remarkable Airbnb spaces, here we have to look at functionality and aesthetics, which is creating a functional layout, clean and clutter-free space.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, definitely. We don't want to overcrowd an Airbnb space. We want an easy flow of furniture, arrangement. Also, we prioritize comfort. And on the other hand, which is very important, is having a defined theme or style.
Mhm.
And these are gonna be our packages for Airbnb spaces, which we're gonna be working on 3 main packages. One that is minimalist, the Moroccan one, which is my favorite, and the eclectic one.
Wonderful.
So in this way, we're gonna be catering to the client's preferences and different tastes. And this will make our Airbnb space stand out in the market and shine among other listings,
Yeah, for sure. Especially you see a lot of listings that look the same,
Yeah.
right? And I don't want to, we do the minimalist, contemporary, modern stuff all the time. So I don't want to, excuse me for the word, shit on our parade and the way we do things. It looks great, but they are similar in a way to something else that you would see because it's trendy right now. But something like Moroccan retreat or something that you just mentioned
exactly.
would look absolutely different and would stand out and would attract a specific type of guest. That's very interesting.
It's
I love that.
bringing vacation homes
Right.
into our Airbnb, like you say, infusing your wanderlust
Right.
in your Airbnb space.
Right.
So
And it might not be for everybody, but you will have people who a target audience, and you can keep your place booked.
Exactly.
Like if you do a Harry Potter themed house,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to be booked all the time because there's going to be people who would want to have that experience. So same thing for Morocco. Maybe somebody won't want to stay in a place like that because they want something very clean and minimalistic, but somebody else would be like, oh, I love this, I would want to pick this over something else, and you will increase your occupancy because of that. That's actually very cool.
that's why we're trying to create 3 packages.
Mhm.
And in this way, we're catering to different tastes again.
Beautiful.
So those who are interested in having this Moroccan experience or eclectic experience, especially with the eclectic one, because you can combine different styles in one place.
Right.
So maybe this statement piece of mid-century accenture will be appealing for the client.
Mhm. Right, it will appear prominently on the photograph,
Exactly.
and it could be a big driver for people to come and stay there.
Honestly, people are traveling a lot these days.
Yeah.
They are seeing a lot. So we don't want to have the basics in the Canadian market. We're trying to
Right.
infuse something new.
I love it.
Yeah, so
That's really cool. That's
yeah.
wonderful. What about keeping budgets down? Because of course you can, buy expensive, beautiful furniture that's going to look really good. What about some budget-friendly tips on how you would furnish the space for other hosts who are doing it themselves? Maybe 1 or 2 trade secrets you can share.
Honestly, I do believe having a stylish house yet budget friendly at the same time. It's possible, to have it. Usually I use some design hacks and some
Please share.
Yeah. So for
give
example,
us 1 or 2. We're not
I'm gonna give you 2.
All right.
So one of the things, mixing high and low, pairing an IKEA accent chair with a statement cushion, or an eclectic table lamp, or some one-of-a-kind coffee table. This will bring the whole space as if it has this high-end look, and at the same time stylish and on budget.
Right. So save money on certain IKEA furniture, but then get one that's a little bit more.
You need those statement pieces.
Yeah.
And also I opt for thrifted and vintage finds, which I can either upcycle them or give them this fresh look, maybe with a coat of paint,
Right.
And one of the most game changer to me is paint, of course.
Painting the walls?
Painting the wall,
Okay.
adding wallpaper.
Okay.
But paint is definitely a game changer.
Right.
One, maybe we can add the stick and peel wood veneer.
That doesn't sound like a budget-friendly tip right there. It
Yeah.
sounds pretty expensive, no?
No, you can still find some affordable
Okay,
things,
cool.
even with fabric.
Fair
you
enough.
can choose
and it would
those.
give it a very opulent look, it feels like, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
You can do it without breaking the bank after all,
That's
So
interesting.
we can still find some good deals out there
Right.
to make it happen. It is possible.
Right. And you mentioned an accent chair, one specific thing that would draw attention. So those are that's the power of details. It's the accent pieces, maybe the candles, the textiles. Can you speak a little bit more about that? How would you go about making the place stand out with a few details that make a big difference and take it to the next level in photographs and everything else, right?
Imagine you're going basics with your property, and the final touches, these are the things that make the whole difference or the overall ambience.
Right.
Imagine you're having a very minimal basic sofa, adding on it a patterned cushion, for example, or these eclectic lamps with the fringes and tassels, or a mid-century accent chair, or a mid-century coffee table, for example, Moroccan poofs. There's those simple minimal details
They make the place look different, and they brighten it up, right?
It has an identity. You have to create a personality.
That's a very good word,
and
personality, identity.
Yeah, and this is what the guest will remember,
Yeah.
The visual. To me, Airbnb is marketing. Marketing is about visual, and also the property has to be visual.
I'm all for that. I'm a very visual person. It's very important for me for things to be aesthetically pleasing. When it comes to photography, right? We use the best photographers for our properties. It has to be staged in a specific way. You probably do a way better job, but we strive for it to look pretty good, and that's very important because I want people to have. We might not use the most expensive furniture, like you said, IKEA, and certain elements from Structube, et cetera, but it will look good together. It will be it wouldn't be just a mattress thrown on the floor.
Yeah.
It would be a nice, pleasant environment. So, and certain people will appreciate it. Some people might not actually care too much, but we strive to bring in guests who would appreciate that, and they're also. I might be wrong, but in my mind, I don't have statistics to prove it, but they would be also a better guest because they're more inclined to stay at a more beautiful place, and in my mind they're more they're better guests. They will be cleaner again.
Yeah, of course. When you scroll for Airbnb bookings, the first thing you're gonna see are the photos in there, right? And later on you start checking the reviews and the prices. So it is important, the visual appeal, but for sure we're not going to compromise the functionality of the space for the visual.
Right,
So we go with the same flow. It has to be parallel, like attaining this functionality, and also yet it can be stylish at the same time.
Yeah, you bring a very good point, kind of segue into my next question about the effect of the design on occupancy and reviews, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you take a photo of the property. That's why we use the best photographers in town. Shout out to Anton and Wasan. They do a fantastic job, but they need to obviously work with something. They need a property that's beautifully staged. And in my mind, again, coming from a background in marketing, liking things that are aesthetically pleasing, it's very important for me for it to make sense. And I think that if you have a picture of a beautiful Airbnb that is not just slapped together but has nuances, details, the things we've discussed, right? People will book it over something else that doesn't have that appeal.
Exactly.
Right? And then people, when they stay there, they will enjoy it more than just a place that wasn't. We're getting reviews all the time. We actually we got a bunch of reviews in today that talked about how beautiful it is and how much they're enjoying it because it's so meticulous in a way of the way it's designed. And I love to see that because it's a lot of work to put this stuff together, as you might know. Yeah. So I wanted to hear from you. What are your thoughts around that? Do the photos of beautiful spaces in this design drive these numbers up, the occupancy levels and better reviews? What are your thoughts?
100%, honestly. Like, I think a well-designed Airbnb properties, like, they will definitely help shine in the market beyond all the listings. Okay, so definitely we need a well-designed interior. Now we're like with our packages that I already introduced, like the Moroccan, the eclectic, we're trying to make our Airbnb properties photogenic, you know?
Yes.
To have this photogenic thing, because like...
So people can click on it versus another property. People can book that property versus something else.
Exactly. That's why we try to create, like, again, a photogenic corners in the Airbnb, for example, like a stylish reading nook, a stylish breakfast bar, like a statement wallpaper, for example, because like when the guests come in, okay, so one of the things that they will recall is the cleanliness, comfort, but also the visual appeal. They want to say like, wow, I want to photograph this, share it on my Instagram page, and like we are in a social media era now, so we have to to be mindful about this.
Airbnb is not like real estate. When you buy an apartment, obviously the first step when you buy a condo, you look at the photos, but then you can actually go there, you check it out before you imagine yourself in the space. When people are booking Airbnb, they don't have the luxury of like, oh, let me go check it out, right? They have to book based on the photos. And the better the photos, the better chance of somebody booking, because it looks cute, it looks beautiful. And of course, if it's beautifully designed, the photos are going to turn out better. So in my mind, it definitely affects the occupancy rates, and it affects then how people feel in that space, right?
Yeah, like, because mostly clients will say, wow, it has a beautiful interiors. Oh my God, you didn't see like this and this, and you know what? Like, we care about the visual, you know?
So you do get a lot of positive feedback when it comes to
visuals, of course, definitely. Like, I think it's one of the most selling point for Airbnb properties, the visual. Yeah. But again, without compromising the functionality, the cleanliness, and the comfort.
So let's dive deeper into the functionality versus aesthetics, right? You touched on it a few times already. Let's kind of dive deeper into that, and how do you manage the space that's like a condo? We have a lot of condos in Toronto that are small, cramped. How do you make it functional for people to stay there? Like you said, it cannot be cluttered, because maximize the number of occupancy for the clients to obviously bring in, right? And for it to also look stylish and for it to look inviting. How do you kind of juggle those two things?
We try to look for sustainable designs and functional ones, like for example, sofa bed, ottomans with a storage. We try to do like some wall units with a storage, hidden, hidden storage.
Like Murphy bed too, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
like
It's
we
an
try
office and a Murphy bed.
stylish dividers, for example, like rattan divider, for example, frosted glass panels. We try to infuse them in a way that they are still functional and at the same time stylish.
I have a
and looking good.
PTSD from a frosted glass panel. We got a 1-star review, the first one in 1 year, because one of the rooms had the frosted glass door and they thought it was too transparent, and just because of that, they canceled the booking and gave us 1 star. So we lost the booking and got a rating. And they
frosted
didn't even,
glass?
Yes, and they didn't even reach out to us. If they reached out, we would have done something immediately. Like we bought a screen just in case, a rattan screen, just in case people don't find it private after that. But like you said, when you say frosted glass, I'm like a PTSD 1-star review for the first time in a whole year, just because of they thought that they didn't give you enough privacy. So bizarre, but anyways.
Yeah, we can do it in a way that it will still preserve the privacy,
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely, again, like by combining functionality and aesthetics, all of these together, they're gonna definitely make a remarkable Airbnb experience. We're creating an experience rather than just like a one stay and that's it. We want people like to recommend it, to love it, to come back, and to give good ratings and reviews.
Right.
Yeah.
So you've been probably doing it for many years, of course, right? And what is the we kind of touched on the feedback a little bit, but I want to hear more about your experiences with the clients. I know that you're not just doing short-term rentals and decorating them. You're also you have clients who just want to do it for their own space. What are the top things that you, as a person who designed the space, love hearing from your clients? The feedback. What melts your heart the most?
Yeah.
Why do you keep doing this? What kind of drives you? What are the things that you love
Honestly,
hearing?
I love when they come back to me. Like, for example, we start with one room and suddenly like we're doing the whole house.
Oh,
So
that's nice.
This is like one of the best thing,
Yeah.
honestly, when the client keeps coming back to me to finish their homes. Sometimes like in the morning, I see some messages like, Nadine, thank you for bringing joy to our house, for bringing all these colors. They are very like bright. So sometimes, especially with some clients, I feel like they're liking my style, which is the eclectic style. And I see like it's becoming more trendy nowadays. People are getting a bit bored from the neutrals, minimal.
Yeah,
it's the era of
it's everywhere.
maximalism. I keep saying that.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Yeah.
And I'm happy like it's gonna be introduced in the Canadian market, especially because like we can feel there is this kind of gap. Okay, and I'm happy that we're gonna be infusing it and making this change together.
Yeah. And it's I've seen some of your work. It looks fantastic, and actually perfect timing to kind of make a big announcement that we at Ad Astra Host are opening in a new wing that is called Ad Astra Staging and Interior Decoration, and Nadine is going to be heading that side of the business. We're super excited to partner up with you.
Me too. Can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing, and
very different.
I'm never going back to IKEA again. You guys know how much I dislike that process. So Nadine is going to take care of the whole process. It's going to look way better than what we've done in the past. We did a pretty good job, okay? But it's going to be...
No, you did a great job. I've seen your work. Amazing.
Thank you. But it's going to be even better, and we're so excited for you to do all this amazing stuff, because we do have a lot of clients that come to us and they say, hey, I don't want to be doing this. I'm a doctor. I have no time to be staging stuff. I do want to do a short-term rental here. I don't want to do long-term. Here are the keys. Do it for me. So this, we just did 2 apartments recently. This is the last time I did that. Now we have Nadine. Super excited. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
So yeah.
I'm so excited for this partnership. And I always say that we're going to bring like different cultures to homes around us here in Canada and make this twist in the market.
Love it.
And I'm sure we're gonna do it together.
Oh, it's gonna be
very
fantastic.
Successful
It's gonna be fantastic. Very exciting. So thank you for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you'll be seeing Nadine a lot more now. So yeah, have a great day, guys.
Thank you. Have a great day too.